All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to step into the luminous, kind of dreamlike world of Fyodor Dostoevsky's White Nights. It's this incredible novella that really gets into the deep end of loneliness and, the fleeting but totally transformative power of human connection.
Okay, so to really get this story, first we've got to understand our main guy. We actually never learn his name, but we get to know him super intimately by this one single trait. He is a dreamer. I mean, this is a man whose whole world is built inside the rich and pretty isolated corners of his own mind. In this quote, it just nails his reality. He's this solitary figure, right? Just wandering the streets of St. Petersburg, pretty much watching life from the sidelines. And to cope with this deep, deep loneliness, he fills his world with these imagined stories and relationships. It's like a fragile fortress against the silence he's desperate to break.
So, our story kicks off during the famous White Nights of St. Petersburg. This is a time in the summer when the sun never really fully sets. And that constant kind of hazy light, it's the perfect metaphor for the dreamer's own life. A state that's not quite dark with despair, but definitely not bright with real joy. He's just suspended somewhere between fantasy and reality. And then, bam! The moment that changes everything. Like in so many great stories, it all starts with a chance meeting by a canal. It's this one event that's going to just pierce the dreamer's solitude in a way he never, ever could have imagined.
Okay, now what's really fascinating here is just how the story is structured. I mean, the entire emotional journey. We're talking hope, love, heartbreak, the whole shebang. It all plays out in this incredibly compressed time frame. Just 4 nights, and then one final decisive morning. So what happens is, he sees this young woman, Nastenka, crying, and then some strangers starts to menace her. And our dreamer, he just instinctively steps in. And this one single act of courage completely shatters his passive way of life. It leads to his first real, intimate conversation, a super emotionally charged exchange that just swings the door wide open to a connection he's only ever dreamed about. So they agree to meet again, and this fragile bond starts to form between them. But, as we're about to find out, this whole connection is built on a really complicated and, let's be honest, pretty precarious foundation.
And this is where we learn something absolutely crucial about Nastenka. See, she's not just a blank slate. Her life is really constrained, and even more importantly, her heart, it's already promised to someone else, a former lodger who swore he'd come back for her in exactly 1 year. And she's waiting for him, right now, as she's meeting the dreamer. This sets up this powerful dramatic irony that just hangs over every single thing they say and do.
And this contrast just perfectly captures the core tension of the whole story, doesn't it? You've got the dreamer, living in this world of idealized, imagined love. And then there's Nastenka, who's anchored by a real, tangible promise. His love is all selfless and abstract. Hers is for a specific person out there in the real world. You can just feel that their two realities are on a collision course.
Which brings us to the 4th night. This is the emotional peak of the story. Nastenka's hope is starting to fade, and in her despair, a whole new possibility seems to open up.
Yeah, the guy she was waiting for, he hasn't shown up, and she's just heartbroken. And in this moment of pure vulnerability, who does she lean on? The one person who's been there for her, the dreamer. And he sees his chance. He senses this might be his only chance. He just can't hold back anymore, and he confesses his passionate love for her.
And you know what? His sincerity. It really moves her. She's caught between this past love and the kindness that's right in front of her. And she suggests that maybe, just maybe, she could love him instead. And for one short, absolutely perfect moment, that wall between the dreamer's fantasy and his reality, it just completely dissolves. His dream has literally come true.
But well, this is Dostoevsky's world we're talking about. And in his world, pure bliss like that, it's almost always fleeting. The morning after this perfect night brings a harsh and pretty much inevitable crash back to reality.
So there they are, walking together, actually planning a future. When a figure emerges from that classic St. Petersburg mist, it's him, the lodger. He's back! And in that one single instant, the dreamer's entire world just collapses.
And what's so brutal here is just how final it is. There's no hesitation. Nastenka instinctively just runs to her first love. She leaves the dreamer standing there on the canal bank, completely and utterly alone again. The dream is over.
Not long after, she sends him a letter. And it's kind, It's grateful. It's full of apologies for the pain she's caused him. But it only offers friendship. It's the final confirmation of what he already knows. His moment of bliss was just that, a moment, and it's gone.
So, what are we supposed to take away from all this? Is this just a super tragic story of unrequited love? Nah, not really. Dostoevsky is leaving us with something way more nuanced and frankly more profound than that.
You'd think he'd be bitter, right? But despite the heartbreak, the dreamer feels no bitterness at all. Instead, he looks back on that one moment of pure happiness. That brief connection was so real, so powerful, that the memory itself becomes a source of light for him, something to cherish. He's just deeply, profoundly grateful for having experienced it at all.
And that, right there, is the beautiful, bittersweet heart of this whole story. It's suggesting that the act of connecting, of feeling so deeply for another person, has its own value, completely separate from how it all turns out. It's a fundamental part of being human, a light in the solitude. The dreamer's answer to that seems to be a quiet, unwavering yes. And that leaves us with a really profound question to think about in our own lives, doesn't it? Is one perfect moment of connection, no matter how fleeting it is, worth the inevitable pain of losing it? Dostoevsky, it seems, really thought so.